I got a T-shirt. I got actually talking about consumption. I got this shirt says, "Please begins on your plate."
That's
Nice,
true.
Love it.
To say, yes, to say the topic. Yeah.
Well, that's definitely going in the cold open for the episode. Hello, dear YouTube Sangha, and welcome to Peace of Mind. I'm Dharma Peace.
Dharma Sense.
I'm a Sky.
Welcome to our channel.
Oh, yeah.
Said welcome
I
to
want
our
to
channel.
say thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Very excited. Very motivated. So it's a topic that I'm passionate about. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys once again.
It's great to
Awesome,
see
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's great to see you, man. Yeah, this episode is going to be about mindful consumption and how Buddhists treat consumption. Today we have very special guest, Dharma Sky, and you have been a member of our temple for longer than me, actually, and um, but we're happy to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. So speaking of mindful consumption, what are your thoughts about it? Like,
Mm.
how do you guys feel about mindful consumption?
Well, as we know, it all starts with, in the Buddhist perspective, it starts with the precepts, really, because we go into the 5 precepts, and can anyone help me remember which precept mindful consumption is? Is it the 4th precept
Well, me,
or 5th
yeah. So
precept?
I did a little research, and based on the topic, I really went through the first two, which is
Uh-huh.
the one is first no killing or no
Okay.
hurting,
Yep.
and the second no stealing.
Ah.
And then yes, no stealing. You're probably wondering why, and I'll get to that. See, the reason those two precepts are so important to me, as you guys may already know, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for about almost 11 years now. So I feel like those two precepts really go hand on hand with that topic.
Mhm.
One of the reasons that I'm vegan, first of all, it's been a great, great journey for me. When it comes to veganism, I say the journey towards it was triggered by my health. It was transformed through meditation, and I would say it's been nourished by compassion, which
Oh,
is
nice.
everything that we do when it comes to Buddhism, right? We talk about being compassionate about ahimsā,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is not,
Yes. Yes.
non-violence. And then as Buddhists, that's the first precept. We shouldn't kill, we shouldn't hurt. So that's why I take it to heart when it comes to these animals. I don't think they should be suffering or dealing with all the things that they go through. And as far as stealing, we steal these animals' milk and we steal their eggs, and then for no reason than our own, things that we want to do with it, and we're not aware of the things that happen to them when we do these things. We think it's like harmless, like nothing really happens, just a little bit of milk, just a little bit of eggs, but we don't know what happens to these animals afterwards. And when we are mindful of what we put inside our body, I feel like it would make us change and see that maybe I should take things differently. I mean, when I first started, so at the time, my ex-wife went to a yoga class, and I always been fascinated by meditation. And for some reason, something told me like to sit down that night and meditate.
Hmm.
And I swear that I fell in love with it. Like it made me so happy and so joyful. So I kept doing it every day. And then that transpired into me looking into Buddhism and Buddhism as a religion, as a philosophy. And then I started being more compassionate. And that led me into vegetarianism because I wasn't aware of veganism that much.
Hmm.
Because Buddhists, I thought they tend to be vegetarian. So as I did that, I started watching more videos about veganism and how animals are treated, and I was conflicted. I was like battling my ego because I was like trying to justify, trying to find a reason not to take it that far. And I noticed that my actions were not going with my values, and it was hard because I'm Puerto Rican, so
Yeah.
we like our meat, we like all that good stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
and at the time it felt like I was like kind of betraying my culture in a way, and I had like I was worried about how people were going to see me, how they were going to conceive me, like how they're going to see how I am, and I don't know, I feel like I needed to do it, and when it comes to mindful consumption, we gotta be mindful what we put to our body. So when it comes to the two precepts, as far as Buddhism, that's why I don't do it. And then if you're talking more deeper into spirituality and stuff like that, when you consume these animals, you're not just taking what people may call nutrients. You're also taking their fear, their anger, their
Yeah.
sadness. And that goes into your body.
Mm.
And as you guys already know, we're Buddhists. We want to be peaceful. And peaceful always starts on your plate. Like my shirt right here. Man.
Yes.
So I got into meditation and then I decided to go vegan. And I did it. It was the best decision I ever made. It's been tough. It's been rough at first because, when I first started, there was not a lot of information about it. And then, people weren't so happy. People had a lot of questions if that was going to be okay, if I should be doing things. But now I got the greatest support system ever. Like my family loves that I'm vegan. Every time there's like a holiday or an event, they
Right.
got food for me ready. My mom and my sister may do something. My girlfriend, she's been amazing. She supports me. We've been doing rescuing animals together and making sure those animals are good. So it's been a journey. So I'm blessed, and it's
You
changed
got a
me. Like
veritable zoo over there, don't you? Can you tell
I
our
do.
listeners how many you've rescued and who you're taking
Yeah,
care of right now?
I got 3 dogs, 2 roosters, and 2 cats, and counting. Because who knows? If I see another, I almost
Uh,
had a cow a couple of months ago. There was a
Oh
cow
man,
that
don't
was
have a cow,
stranded,
man. You gotta relax.
and we fed that cow. We fed that cow every day through the gate until the owner came back and got the cow. So I really love animals. I think
Mm.
they deserve the same treatment. I mean, I used to do work at a sanctuary, and being around animals all the time, like they have feelings, of course, but when you're around them and you see how happy they are, and they're just like us, they got families, they got friends, like they get happy and joyful, they get sad. When one of them passes away, you could see the animals mourn their fellow animals. So
Yeah.
we're
absolutely.
not that disconnected from the animals. So
Right.
but yes, it's been great. It's been great,
Man,
honestly.
I wanna say that there are definitely two things I love about what you said. The first is that because I asked about the precepts and wanted to start from, no, don't take intoxicants, and that's usually when like the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh comes in and talks about mindful consumption. But then you dialed it back and then you said no, it starts with the first precept because non-harm, ahimsā,
Yeah.
not to take life, and so that's the first thing I really liked about that, and just and also of course the second precept of not taking what is not given, right, and or stealing or appropriating or however you want to phrase it, and so that's the first thing I loved about it. But the other
Thank you.
is that you put so much of your background in there. You shared about your culture and like how to me that is actually where we should start from discussing why we consume what we consume because in a sense until we start to flip the switch and change our habits, um, most of what we do is a habit formed from our upbringing or our culture, and I feel like that's as we're all activists, that's where things start to change, where we start to say we need to change our ideas about it's okay to consume animals. It's okay to kill and harvest their offspring or to take their milk, or it's okay to, have that war is okay, or the culture of violence is okay, or reliance on petroleum and pollution is okay for our planet. Like what I mean. Like that's where it all sort of proliferates and
Yeah. I think activism is very important. I mean, especially for myself, being
mm,
a minority, the reason that I'm able to speak freely and openly is because people fought for my rights, thanks to activists.
hmm
The reason many people have rights today is because people spoke up. So I think it's important to speak up and be an activist. You can choose however you want to do it. When I first started doing activism, it was very challenging because I'm usually a quiet person. I don't like to like rock the boat and stuff.
hmm
But I had a great mentor. Shout out to her, and she helped me out a lot. And it was enjoyable. I mean, it made me even understand people more and be more empathetic. Because even though I was trying to talk to them and trying to not make them, but suggest to see a different point of view, a lot of them would get upset and stuff, and they would say things that I used to say too.
hmm
And so
hmm
I understand that perspective. So I don't see nobody, especially people who are not being, as bad people. They're good people. Everybody, I think everybody in essence can be a great person. I just feel like you said habits, and people will find a way to justify it or stick to it. I was that person, and it actually made me understand people more and just kind of reach out. But right now, I'm more on the peaceful side. I like to like lead by example. I just try to post like my food, stuff that I eat,
Yeah.
be with animals, kind of, spend time with some animals. You guys know that I work with animals all the time and just kind of spread awareness the best I can. And then as far as other things that I consume, like, because it's not only what you eat, it's also what what you see, what you read, all of that stuff. I mean,
Yep.
you guys
All
know
your
about
five senses. You consume with
you know
all of your
about
five senses.
Yes.
the three wise monkeys. You
Right?
see no
Yeah.
Yeah.
evil, you see no evil,
The
and then
samsara.
that doesn't reach to
Yeah.
it helps. So but yeah, but you yeah, activism has been great. It's been a learning experience. I think everybody should speak up and have something to say. As long as you're doing it in a respectful manner, you're not disrespecting nobody, just
Hmm.
trying to say your point of view. Because I think that's what life's about. Like we don't know everything, so it's great when somebody can bring a different perspective to your life, and it's okay to be wrong. Like it's okay. Oh, maybe my traditions, maybe the things that I believe in, maybe they should be questioned. Maybe I should see things differently. And I think veganism has changed me that, but even more so meditation. Because if it wasn't for meditation, I probably wouldn't be vegan. It's like kind of opened me up to all of this and kind of
Hmm.
get to know myself and understand that it's not all about me. It's like there's people out there's animals, and everybody deserves equal opportunity, equal right, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's interesting to me how you're describing the process, like how you sort of arrived. It was through meditation that led you and opened the pathway to veganism.
Hmm.
And and you said something that I thought was interesting. We're not right all the time, and that's good to know because I'm wrong all the time. And but it is comforting to know that we are a process, right? We're always in flux, and it's kind of like the idea of anicca, impermanence. We're always changing, and but if we're mindful, especially about what we're consuming, whether it be mindful eating, mindful viewing, listening, whatever it is, if you're mindful of it and you're aware that it's wholesome,
Yeah.
then
And
you're,
it starts with meditation. It starts with meditation. I
yeah,
mean, meditation makes you present, makes you aware. It makes you
Yeah.
stop and be at the moment and be like, hey, do I really need to be watching this? Do I really need to be doing this? It's a different way to do this. So I think I'm blessed that I meditate. Like I cannot lie. I think it's one of the most beautiful things I've discovered in my life. My relationship with meditation is awesome, and I recommend everybody do it. Awesome. It would transform you for sure.
Yeah, man.
it
That's
would.
amazing. Yeah. Can I
I
just?
agree.
Can I? Yes, I totally agree. I'm also just wondering if I could just change the subject just a little bit, because the reason is just because I want to talk about the term activism, or we're like we call ourselves engaged Buddhists, which is under the umbrella term of activism, right? Um, Now, in the United States, in the American experiment of, you know, I believe that this term activism is like a modern construct that describes so many of the things that were part of American history, right? So, for an example, would be like the Sons of Liberty, or the people that what we call the framers. People in this country that basically they took a stand and they said, "This is what needs to change." Like they were revolutionaries, and they were basically saying, "This needs to change so that life can improve, so that suffering could be reduced." I mean, in the phrasing of a Buddhist perspective, they want to. The idea is the common good in the American tradition, that we want to serve the common good. And I feel like using the term activism for a lot of people, especially like with things like progressive topics like veganism, a lot of it seems to make people like want to disconnect from it or think that it's rabble rousing or starting trouble. But I would say and I don't know if you guys would agree. Would you agree, Dharma Sky, that um, when we say activism, when we say engaged Buddhism, when we say these things, it's an echo of our like liberal democracy, as it were, like the history of this country and what it stands for, which is progress in just making a positive change, so that for the greater good. Would I know that's a lot, but would you agree with that, or what do you think? Is there a
I do. I do. It's necessary. When we talk about engaged Buddhism, it's sort of like trying to find the bodhisattva within us.
mm,
It's like finding a way to make a better place and try to spread awareness and make sure everybody gets there, because we all a family, we all a team, we all a sangha. So it's not about one particular person. We all gotta, get together and become better and do better. And as Buddhists, we know that when we practice engaged Buddhism, that's what it's all about. We don't look for enlightenment or nirvana just for ourselves. It's just to help, the whole community to make it. And as far as our country, it's a lot of things, and back to activism, like I said, the reason that I have so many rights is because people spoke for them. So it's not something that
Exactly. Yeah.
should be stopped. Like you said, some people might be turned off by it. Like you said, they might find it too aggressive. And I agree. I ain't gonna lie. I agree. That's why you gotta find a way to do things in a more compassionate and empathetic way.
Yeah.
Where
Now I'll be honest that because when I think about the word itself, activism,
Hmm?
not to like, this is just my mind is thinking about like our friends of family who wind up being, let's say, on a conservative side of things, or what they're calling themselves conservatives. But the
Right.
idea and notion about activism in their minds is people stopping traffic and getting in the middle of the road and then
Yeah, yeah,
and doing
it's like laying
like
laying
publicity
in the
stunts and
ground,
stuff. Yeah,
stopping traffic.
and um and I'm trying to say that that's actually not what it's about when we use that term, right? And what we're really talking about is furthering the progress of this country and the world by extension, right? Like we want the best for everybody, the greater good, right? And that it extends to all sentient beings in the Buddhist perspective. So that means animals. It means even like the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh says animals, plants, minerals. So he's including even them.
I mean, people in our families may be conservative, and that's okay. Like everybody's allowed to live how they want to live, but you shouldn't stop speaking your truth just because someone sees things differently. You just
Mm,
gotta find common ground and learn how to talk to each other. Because if you don't rock the boat, which I know, because I'm a quiet person, nothing's gonna change. Like, because everybody's gonna try to defend the status quo.
mm,
We're gonna have cognitive dissonance and stuff like that. It's just how do we reach the people without how do I say this? Triggering that aspect of themselves that make them want to fight back just because you have an opinion. I mean,
right,
how do we go about that? I mean,
exactly.
uh,
Okay, so like I would summarize what you just said, Sky, is meet people where they're at, right? And don't
yes.
infuse conversations with antagonism. Like if we're engaged Buddhists, we don't want to antagonize. We're not there to be an enemy. We're not there to cause further conflict. Like that's actually the opposite of our goal. We want people to be happy, and
Yeah.
to be
We
able
want
to,
peaceful people. Just
yeah,
Right.
people too. Everybody be happy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But being happy or being peaceful doesn't necessarily mean you have to eat the thing that you want to eat, right? Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I love like the Shaolin master Shi Hong Yi, who said, seek peace, not happiness, right? Peace over happiness. And of course, yes, we talk about happiness. What I meant by happiness is more peace, right? Like that's what I really want to get at is like we want to seek something that's wholesome and conducive to ourselves and others. Um, but we don't want to equate happiness or peace with happiness and further add on conditions for that. Like, oh, I need to be able to eat what I want to eat. I need to be able to drive what I want to drive. Those things are, when you think like that, I feel like that's a cultural thing. Like, first of all, it's informed by how we're
But
brought up. And then,
we all know that the cost of suffering is desire.
mm,
At some point, we gotta stop desiring things and just kind of realize that this is the right thing to do. Happiness, I agree. Happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes, but peace can be forever
mm,
once you reach it and stuff.
yeah,
But at the same time, once you have that peace, it could also lead to happiness. And mindful consumption helps you with that. Like what you put in your body and what you do, it just changes your life. Like I've been working out, and like you said, I'm not happy when I work out. At sometimes I don't even want to go. But the benefits it gives me and the peace it gives me afterwards makes it all worth it. So I agree. We cannot just do something because it feels good. Because a lot of bad things can feel good. I mean, alcohol, drugs can feel good, but it doesn't mean I should chase it. And I just
You
say,
never leave the gym and go, dang, I wish I didn't do that. You know,
exactly.
you don't regret afterwards.
You feel mad after. So yeah, so I agree. Happiness can be fleeting, but we can't just do stuff because it feels good. Like we at some point we gotta grow as people, and like the old saying says, when you know better, you do better.
Mm.
So obviously you gotta respect people, meet them where they're at. I love everybody. I don't care what religion you are, what ethnicity you are, what's your background, whether you eat meat or you be. It doesn't matter to me. If you're a great person, you're a great person. So please don't take me as that person that I. If you don't eat like me, no, I'm not that type of person. Like I
Right.
respect everybody. I
Yeah, because
just
I,
that made
feel
because that made me
I'd
want to
like to
ask you
jump in,
like,
and I've just been thinking about this a lot lately, just because of the way things are going. You brought up like the nature of our liberal world, the Western world, essentially, peace, and how that kind of equates to our engaged Buddhism, and how sort of being born and raised in the West, and right, those sort of habits, whatever, cultural mores, they're probably more ingrained, at least in me, than even my Buddhist practice, because my Buddhist practice came much later in my life.
hmm
It was something that initially was more conceptual than experiential, and experiential only comes with time and sitting and etc. Um, and we do want to love everybody, right? We practice metta, right? We pray for even our enemy. But it's important still to be able to remember that the Buddha is very discerning, and that we also need to be very discerning and very firm in what we know to be right and wrong. And talking about liberal stuff, I get a little excited about it. Like fascism, no. Hard draw line, no. Nazis, no. I will
same
not
here.
tolerate that type of behavior.
yeah,
You as a person, I will have compassion for you, because I too am filled with delusion, filled with ignorance, filled with, all dukkha. We all suffer, right? So I will have compassion for you as a person, but I will not accept your views. I will not accept your philosophy. I will not accept your behavior. And
right.
that
And
is what my activism is about.
that's
So how you win?
that's the
You
key.
win by with a peaceful revolution. Like they did in the 60s, put the flowers in the bayonets,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's the
Or
only
the
way.
barrel. Yeah.
Live your truth. Say your truth in a peaceful manner. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Like you said, if you disagree, you disagree. Just it's in a peaceful manner without being aggressive or. But then that's how I live my life. Like if I don't like what you're doing, yeah, I'm not gonna shame you, nothing like that. But if I disagree, I disagree.
hmm
But but that's the best way to go about it peacefully. Like just live,
Yeah.
and hopefully you change some
Well,
lives.
we
I understand. Like I'm a Buddhist vegan, so a lot of people just get mad at me for that reason alone.
You're just being, yeah, just existing.
Sometimes I don't even say nothing, and just people just get mad at me and stuff. But yeah, I don't take that in. Mindful consumption. I try to limit negative opinions and stuff like that. I try to like kind of like I pay attention to it and stuff. Like I work with kids with with issues and stuff, and a lot of things they consume is bad. I mean, they're watching videos
Yeah.
about gun violence and stuff that's inappropriate, and it could take a toll on you. So you just gotta find a way to kind of like know when to dissociate and not let it get to you and stuff. And I think meditation helps a lot with that. So what do you think of Dharma Peace? How do we
the whole thing. The whole time I was thinking, since my name is Dharma Peace. Well, I do describe myself as a peace activist at times, just so that people understand where I come from. But by peace, in this case, we're talking about demilitarization and disarming people, meaning like disarming the mind. It all starts with the mind, right? And um, like the whole notion, there's a lot going on now that needs to be addressed. It is an emergent issue every day that people are constantly militant, thinking very very much like they should be able to cause harm to other people and other creatures and in the planet, and it persists, and it's a persistent delusion that needs to be addressed. So I agree with Sense that this is an emergent thing. It's a polycrisis. It's not just about any one issue or topic. It is a general issue. It's a malaise, a kind of people are living in a delusional state where they think that when somebody like us addresses them and says what you're doing is wrong, they think that we're attacking them. And that's a delusion, because what we're trying to do is address the problem. And the problem is harm. And the problem is the way that you are thinking leads to unwise and harmful deeds and actions, right? And we all live in a society together. There's no separation. You know, we're all in this together, and globally, we're all in this together. So we shouldn't be like, yeah, when we talk about peace, like Sense is saying, I would phrase it like this, you know, being stern and being and standing up for yourself with a backbone has nothing to do with violence or treating people poorly. Sometimes it's called tough love, and sometimes it means, yeah, sometimes we have to get down in the dirt and pull some weeds, right? And that's what needs to be done culturally, I believe. Yes, I believe like it's deeply ingrained. It's not the superficial things in the news. It's not any one issue. It's deeply ingrained, and it's something like with what the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh said was like habit energy, and then there's mindfulness energy. There's all this habit energy that's all around, and people just acting out of their habits and baser instincts, and not nearly enough mindfulness energy. Like it is. So if we're mindful, and getting back on track with this topic today, mindful consumption, and if we're mindful, we take note of the things that we're consuming, and we notice within ourselves. Also, and I'll finish with this, that being accountable is exactly what gives us the right to say then what somebody else is doing. So kind of like this whole Jesus quote about hypocrites, why don't you remove the plank from your eye before you point at the speck in someone else's eye? The thing is that we're kind of flipping that on its head. We're saying that we are doing a daily and moment to moment effort of removing those deficiencies and these delusions. As Buddhists, that is our business. That's what we do. And then so when we're engaged, we are able to see these things very apparently. That like when people are suffering delusions, when they're doing something unwise, doing something unmindful, something that causes harm beyond just like the superficial tabloid type stuff where it has to be writ large and obvious for people to understand. When you build wisdom and mindfulness, you start to see there's such a thing as systemic harm and injustice and pernicious harm, right? Things that take time to accumulate. Drop by drop, the bucket is filled, right? And so that's like, again, this is we're addressing so many things right now.
But
But
that was really well said. I'm glad
thank
you
you.
said that. You said,
But Dharma Sky, I feel like your activities and everything, your efforts and all of this is grounded in, like, let's say, a love that we can all understand, right? Which is the compassion for these animals, and is grounded in sort of this non-duality, this non-dualism of self and other, right? Is that, would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I'm around the animals, I can feel the interconnectedness of everything. Like everything's connected. Everything's like one. Like I feel so happy with them, and I feel that's my way to ship in to this world. It's like the saying goes: you can lead a horse to the water, but you can make them drink it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't force nobody to change their perspective or their point of view. When it comes to activism, I think it's important to share the point of view, but I take it more in a peaceful approach because I understand that no matter how much I shove it in your face, if you don't want to see it, you don't want to see it.
yeah, yeah,
But like you guys said, you if you don't agree with something, you have to say it. You have to stand up for yourself. So I will express myself. I just feel that the best way for me, at least, is by showing how animals are just like us. That's why I post videos about them and pictures about them, so people could see how beautiful these creatures are. Like you guys, I'm sure you've seen animals. You've seen in their eyes. You can see the love that they have,
yeah,
unconditional love. Like
Yeah.
sure,
you look at a dog look at your eyes. That's the most beautiful thing ever.
yeah.
And trying to teach that and trying to teach meditation. Like I always talk about meditation. A lot of people think I'm weird or stuff because I always talk about meditation. But I feel like it is the best tool for activism because it will open your eyes. It will make you see things differently, and you
Absolutely.
won't
Yeah.
justify your habits. You won't justify your habits. You will be mindful because you understand that everything is energy, and everything negative that you consume is going to change the way you envision the whole world.
Right.
Yeah.
So to finish that up, it's like the best way that I feel I could do engage Buddhism is just by living my life, and hopefully that could impact somebody some way. And I
Absolutely.
rescue I
Yeah.
rescue animals, and and they're so grateful. They're so grateful for it. So if I could change one animal's life, I'm happy, you know.
Well, you are doing that, and I admire you tremendously. Not only do you work with animals, but you work with kids. I mean, your job, right? Your livelihood is as a child counselor, correct?
And I seen
Yeah.
kids
So,
be happy when they see me, be happy when they see me, they joke around me,
yeah.
and it changes their mood because being locked up in a situation, it could be very sad and
Right.
depressing. So to come in and bring a little bit of joy on
Yeah.
them, it's happy, which is why I still do it because it is draining. It is. There's a lot of negativity at times.
Yeah.
Which people ask me like, "You're Buddhist. Why would you do something like that?" You know, it's like constant negativity.
Yeah.
But no. Again, I just want to chip in because just like any bodhisattva, not saying that I am one, but as a Buddhist, you want to change little by little and make the world a better place.
I
Well,
think really what you do so well is you're authentic. You are who you are, and you do what you love, and you share openly and honestly about what matters to you. Right? It's
Thank
not a show. It's not a put on. It's not we've got an agenda. It's this is me.
and that's huge.
This is
Yeah.
what I care
Love
about.
that.
This is what I love. I'm passionate for this. I care deeply about these animals. I want them to have a better life. I care deeply about these kids. I want them to have a better life. I do what I can. And you're an example. You're not going around wagging your finger at people. You're living it, right? And people can pick up on that because it's authentic. And I think that that's what needs really. That's how all activism should be. It should,
Hmm.
That's just who I am. I used to be worried about how I would be perceived and stuff, and I would be like embarrassed and stuff. But now I just live my life, and people are they're gonna love me or they're not. But it's not about me. It's about spreading peace and being there for the animals and being up for you guys with sangha. The animals are my sangha too. Like everybody in this world is my sangha. Like we
yeah.
all in this together. So I'm happy just to be who I am. I mean, I'm proud, but it was challenging. It was challenging. Even coming to this, I'm not gonna lie, I was probably a little nervous, but all I could do is just be myself.
Well, honestly, your your presence is a blessing, and I have to say that. Like, I really do. I'm not saying that for any other reason than it's just the truth. When you're around, it's like everyone immediately feels the calm and the feel like a presence. And yeah, you said bodhisattva, and I feel like that's a good phrase for it. We all aspire to be either Buddha, bodhisattva, or something in the Buddhist circles, and I feel like you're doing a good job in that department.
Yeah,
Second.
just right intention, right intention.
Yeah.
That's all you could do. Just kind of like have your heart in it, right intention, and everything will fall into place. So but going back to mindful consumption, yes, I live my life. I make sure I don't take nothing negative.
Hmm.
Negativity is a part of life, so you can't escape it. But you just gotta make sure
Right.
you limit it. Well, and I've been listening to a lot of jazz and stuff lately,
Hmm.
which is weird. And reggae, it's kind of like making sure like I listen to something more upbeat, especially when I go to work and stuff. So I still love my hip hop and my rap and stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just changing a little. I know because I'm getting deeper on my meditations and stuff. And yeah, but yeah, that's
No, that's
Well,
wonderful.
and that's another thing too. Just to touch back on activism a little bit or engage Buddhism. It's just talking about meditation in a way that for me, like it's not like you're trying to prescribe for other people. Like, hey, how'd you get to be so calm? "Oh, I meditate, and just you just share it in casual conversation. Talk about meditation. I really truly agree with you. I think like if everybody meditated, that would change the world completely.
Hmm.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree
So
with that.
meditation is
Meditation is a tremendous effort. It basically grounds us, but it also it's like, why do we need to sleep, right? We're thinking animals. We're very sentient. We're very, like, we call ourselves the Homo sapiens, right? So we call ourselves intelligent. But what makes it that? What makes us so? And then basically, meditation is to mindfulness as sleep is to restfulness, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that is tremendous,
that's
right?
really
And
that's a great point.
yeah,
that's deep. I like that.
Yeah,
if we're maturing and becoming adults and we want to be effective in what we do and we want to have composure throughout
yeah,
our days, then meditation is how you achieve that in a skillful way.
right.
And it's also like the quickest way because other people, you look back at like the history of the theory of mind and all that. There are other methods that people tried that were not grounded in Buddhism. Um, and let's just say they kind of fell short. Let's just say that, like, neuroscientists,
Of
like
course.
Robert Wright kind of talks about it a bit, and Sam Harris, etc. They say like the North Indian traditions of meditation wound up being the more efficacious and demonstrably so. And that's what you're talking about, Dharma Sky, is falling into that practice, falling into um, the mindfulness
I
meditation.
mean, I think same thing about religion. Like I think all religions are beautiful in their own way.
Hmm.
It's just when you blindly use it to justify bad behaviors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we have to be open. We could be able to believe on anything we want to, but our actions gotta match our values, and we still gotta be good people, respect different people and stuff like that. So
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That was well said, man. I
Well
love it.
said.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any last questions you want to ask him before we
No,
end?
I really, this has been wonderful. I'm so glad that you joined us today, Dharma Sky. Really, this has been probably the most
No,
fun I've had doing one of these. And I hope you come back soon. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you,
just really wonderful
thank
seeing you. It's been a great conversation.
absolutely. You are
you
always
so much.
welcome, and maybe, yeah. Sorry, what was that? There was a delay.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been an honor. It's been an
Yeah.
honor, and I'm more than happy to be here again.
Absolutely, man. You guys like Dharma Sky. I hope you're always welcome on the show. Just so you know, and your tremendous presence. And
Grateful.
all right, guys. So, thank you so much, dear YouTube Sangha. If you made it this far, thank you, and sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to you.
So, so.
Perfect, man.